Welcome to Tier Fun. I'm Andrew, your guide through Modern, and today we have a deck that I've been thinking about for a bit now. Ever since I started playing Search, I've been trying to think of what I think perhaps the ideal list is for it, and to start it off, I don't think I found the ideal list, but this is one of the 5 to infinite ways of building a deck focused around Search that I've been thinking about. Basically, when I play Search, what I'm looking for is access to 1 mana spells, because then at 5 mana we can get and cast a 1 mana spell. Basically, 1 and 2 mana spells that we can search for that are effective. And I think these cards are effective in most situations. I think Remand is kind of lackluster, and I might end up moving on from it. But I like churning through the deck, Remand into Spell Queller or Spell Queller into Remand. Basically, these cards are concessions to Storm or anything early. These could very easily just become mana leaks, I suppose, but I like Remand better than mana leak against Storm, and that's kind of just why I'm running Remand. Also, it's why I think Opt plus Spell Snare is pretty awesome. But yeah, we got the best 1 and 2 mana stuff in these colors. Remand maybe is arguably. If only you could find Spell Queller off of Search, then I think this would be an epic combo. But it's more of a concession to where I think the meta is right now. And we also have Planeswalkers defined with Search and a win con, or a way to buy time, and then the second one's probably going to be a win con. I was running Thundermaw or my usual 5 mana guys, but I think being able to search into Secure the Waste is actually pretty strong in the end game. You can also search into Cryptic, yeah. So yeah, I mean, Search does a lot. I was originally playing it with 2 searches, but I felt like if I'm gonna actually sell out for a deck that is search based, I think I want decent odds of finding it by turn whatever. I think it's somewhere around 40% for turn 2 or 3, and we've got some ways to cycle through the deck, so maybe that's a little bit higher. So yeah, this is I have, spoiler alert, I have not really spoiler alert, but fair warning alert, I have no idea if this deck is any good. I know these cards are good, except for maybe Search. I think Search is very good in control mirrors or control matchups. And I think this deck has game against stuff like Burn. Affinity, I think it's going to be okay because of Snapcaster Bolt, Helix, and even Path. Johnny helps shore up aggressive matchups as well. Token matchups and control matchups. Jace is good. All these cards can be good, and we have a way to find, hopefully, the right tool for the situation. The one thing I really wanted to squeeze in here was more actual counter spells rather than just Spell Snare and Cryptic, but I couldn't find a way to keep the mana decent and keep it in there and keep all these spells. Maybe I should shave a Spell Queller, but this is take 1. I've been kind of grinding with this deck all day, trying to get it to where I want it to be, and this is the closest to ideal that I've found so far. So I'm going to run through the queues here shortly. Well, here right now. 8-Rack for life, he's back! Alright, we'll give him the play. This is... For those who have been watching all my videos, I avoided playing 8-Rack for life the other day, and yeah, now we're gonna play 8-Rack for life. So if it's 8-Rack, hand with a butt ton of lands is probably pretty good. So we'll see. This is probably a troll name, and they actually are not running 8-Rack, and we're just gonna get rolled over, but we will find out. Search for Azcanta is pretty good in the mono discard matchup. Looks like his name is not a troll. It is definitely, this is 8-Rack for life is on 8-Rack. I hope he sends me a message, or if they send me a message, and did you keep this hand? Would you keep this hand in the dark? I'm like, no, I probably wouldn't. I will keep this hand against Agrac though, or any spell. Like I'd probably keep this against. Well, I'd think about keeping it against Jund. I don't know if I actually would. But like when your opponent is on what you assume is a whole lot of discard, keeping a land-heavy hand is, I think, pretty decent. Because they're going to just rip your good stuff anyways. So it'd be great to have a search here. That's about the only card I want to see. I would love to get some burn or remand or anything. No Thoughtseize. Yep. Because if they're running Liliana, we need some pressure. We definitely need some pressure for Liliana. Shrieking Affliction. Alright, well, we're going to keep most of these in our hand, so it's up to the opponent to draw Raven's Crimes. Or Liliana. Because of our hand, we're just going to get the Sacred Foundry. Alright, Remand's good. I think I should have led with that Flooded Strand, but we're not. I don't think we're going to play a land past the 4th one. We might just keep these 3 in hand. 8-rack makes you play real weird. Hope they tap out for... Okay, well, I didn't really. Whoa, Delirium Skins. This guy. This guy's awesome. I have not seen this card played at all, but it's a 3-for-1. It's pretty awesome, especially in this deck. We drew a land. We know they have Delirium Skins, so I think we're just going to keep all this in hand. I think we're actually going to discard the Helix, as weird as it sounds. Well, maybe not. It's a great way to pressure Rat or Planeswalkers. So they're going to go down to 1 card as well. Is this only opponents? Man, how unfair. How unfair, Shrieking Affliction. Boop, boop. Yeah, I guess we will. Okay, well, they only have 1 card in hand. We're not playing anything. The last GP I was at, I was playing Affinity. This is story time, folks. Okay. I was playing Affinity. We'll discard the Flood Strand, and we'll get rid of the Glacial Fortress. And I led off my day with a phenomenal hand. It was one of the best hands. Ooh. We're going to leave that land in hand for now and play this. Search is going to be great in this matchup. But anyways, I vomited my whole hand out. I was like, finally, I get to start off with GP on the right foot for once. And opponent goes, I think they open up on just a discard spell. I think their next turn was rack. And I was like, oh. And they might have actually opened up on the rack. And I had a great hand, but I could not close out in time. Ooh. No. And we do want to transform. I'm going to play this Secure the Wastes. I suppose we can take... What is this? So it's cards fewer than 1 or fewer. So yeah, we'll play 1. If they get a discard spell, they get our Helix. Because I'm playing Secure the Wastes. Okay. So looks like for once I'm in a good matchup. So yeah, moral of the story is Affinity doesn't have the best matchup against Rack. Or at least it does have, let's be fair, it does have a decent matchup against it, but if your opponent is on mono Racks, you're kind of just doing their work for them. I think I was like a turn too slow on both of my games that I played. No, we went to 3 games. Ooh, interesting. Doomblade. I'll remand. I get to get in for 3. Oh, a Snapcaster, that's great. And they have to Doomblade us next turn. You know, maybe that was a hasty remand. Ooh, at the beginning of each player's upkeep. Okay. Interesting. So I think at this point Let's see. We're gonna lose 6 if I go down to empty. But we'll be up to 14, and we'll be down to 8, and they'll be down to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They'll be down to 4. So I think this is fine. I think we're just going to win this race. I think we're going to snap Helix as well, just to get all those rub-ins in. So let's see how they stack their triggers. I assume they're going to stack Necrogen Mist. So, okay. Well, 1 or fewer, we're still losing 3 life, so... Maybe... I think gaining life here is just good. Okay, well, let's get that trigger off the stack. So yeah, I think they need something better than just the Doomblade next turn, and I don't think they have it in their deck. Let's see, we have to discard a card, right? So I might as well play this to play around. We can activate Search. And maybe draw a Lightning Bolt. Oh, okay, well they have to play it now. Which means, yeah, I don't think they have an out. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, right? Oh yeah, and they drew. Yep. So they didn't play it. I guess they had an out, that means. So that's kind of scary. Celestial Purge is about the only card. Oh, Wear Tear. That's good too. Negate is alright. Spell Snare is pretty good. Oh, Path seems horrendous. I suppose we'll bring in Engineered Explosives as well. I'm not too excited about our deck against 8-Rack, but as you saw, I don't think it's horrendous. There's a thought to bringing in Keranos, but I think Secure the Waste is just good against them. Maybe they have sweepers, though. I think Search is great. Just basically lets us cycle our whatever cards are dead. Spellqueller is actually pretty phenomenal, assuming we get 3 lands. I think I like it as is. Maybe we want Keranos instead of a Johnny, but I'm alright. Winning game 1 is phenomenal because at least when I play against this deck, I'm very likely to just get hosed out of nowhere. Like, I don't know if this is something that happens to you guys or not. Maybe it's just me. But there's like a certain set of decks that no matter how good my matchup is supposed to be, I will almost always lose against. Like, I have a pretty horrible win percentage against 8-Rack in general. This is like the exact opposite of the hand I want, but I think I'm keeping it. We're bottoming that. We're just gonna rely on Spell Snare being good. Maybe I should have just mulliganed. Mulliganing it all against 8-Rack is really bad, though. I'm just gonna discard this to Johnny because we're never gonna get to cast it. If I had more cheap spells to bring in, I would have. But anyways, like, 8-Rack is one of those decks that I will never win against. We're gonna shock. In general, no matter who's playing it, no matter how hot I'm drawing, they will always draw hotter and better, and they'll also be better looking, smarter, and just funnier than me too. It's a bit frustrating. Yeah, it's a phenomenon in Magic that I think a lot of people have. It's pure variance, but like, oh, all right, this is good. That I'm assuming, well, I don't know what they're holding. I have no idea actually. Maybe they're just chock full of Delirium skins. There it is. Wrench Mind. We can interact with that. This is why I kept it in the deck. That, and we don't have much more to side out. 8-Rack always feels like, I guess it has a horrendous matchup against things like Burn and things, but it's always pretty good against the random Jake decks that I play online. Land, please. That stinks. Alright, so we're just going to cast the Snapcaster on the end step. Unless they cast something really scary that I want to remand. Wrenchmind. I suppose that will count as that. We're really just cycling here. Well, that's fine. They don't draw land. Ooh. So we're gonna... Oh, brutal. Should have just cast that Snapcaster, Andrew. Extra pay. On Remand? Is Remand that good against you that you extra pay? It's probably just good enough. And this is the kind of stuff that happens to me all the time. Is they always extra pay it when I've got the card in hand. Like, no real reason to extra pay it there. It's not phenomenal. It's just, maybe they have a 3 card that costs 3 and they don't want to cast Wrenchmind next turn. But then why would they cast Wrenchmind this turn? I don't know. I can't get in the mind of Arak for life. Only they know. And that play was obviously awesome. So this is just ripped a card out of my hand. It's actually fairly decent because it cycles. Okay, so here... I wish this was a land. We're going to discard Bolt and I think Secure the Wastes to this Wrenchmind. Opt is decent. Maybe we'll discard Opt. Opt and Bolt and just keep the threats in hand. I don't hate that. Oh, land Smallpox would make me very sad. I would cry all of the tears. Please no Fatal Push. I would like to get in 20 points of damage with you. I'm going to target the Spell Snare just because. I really don't know why. Ooh. Okay, well, Secure the Waste is going to do work. I think we're playing this. It goes against my code, my rule of thumb, but my rule of thumb for playing against this deck, but I think it's good in this situation. And as you all know, rules of thumb are great, but are very much meant to be broken. Ooh, we can also Snapcast back Spell Snare if I have another Wrenchmind. I don't want to get too confident here. But this is better than most 8-rack matchups are for me. Okay, so on the end step, we will cast Secure the Wastes, and then on the upkeep, we will cast Snapcaster, probably Opt, maybe Bolt, just to put some pressure down. Let me think about it. Could also Secure the Waste for 0, but haven't done that since I was playing. What was that card? Jeskai Azcanta. Yeah. So we actually can't Spell Snare, so we're just gonna Bolt. Secure the Waste is actually quite good against their removal. Now, of course, they're probably sitting on Flaying Tendrils and we're just DOB. That's a card that we cannot cast until turn 5 at the best. I think if we can fade Flaying Tendrils here, we're going to win. And if we can't, we're going to lose miserably. Let's see what they discard. Delirium Skins, yep, not great here. Smallpox is pretty good. Bile Blight, yowzers. Well, I mean, it looks like we're going to have 1 card left. I think this is probably a push or something. Surgical. Well, we only had 2 snaps left. At this point, I would rather draw... Ooh, Spell Queller would be phenomenal. Let's do that. Alright, so our clock is no longer as good, and I'm not feeling half as confident. I'm feeling like I typically do against this deck. Yeah, we'll play that. Necrogen Mist really puts you in a bind. Only upside here is that the opponent also has to do it. Ooh, Smallpox. Please not Flying Tendrils. Oh, Ensnaring Bridge is so good. This is a combo. Ensnaring Bridge, Necrogen Mists. So we really just gotta draw. At this point, I guess we play this to make Cryptic be live. Maybe we keep it. I mean, we do have to discard it. At some point, we do have to try to accumulate cards in hand. I guess that time will be when it's like a remand or a card draw spell. So yeah, we're officially locked out. We don't have Snapcaster Mages. We do have our burn spells. We're going to be taking 3 a turn, so we're in a bind. We have, I suppose we have more than just, we have this card we're about to draw that I can't remember the name of. Island. Nope, it's not Island. Wear Tear and that Sunburst card. Wow. Whenever I'm on camera, I can no longer think of cards. Wrench Mind. Yep, you got it. I will click on 1 card, not 2. Is that okay with you, Moto? But, ooh, that would have been good, but it's not. It's actually bad. I suppose Cryptic's now. We can bounce the Ensnaring Bridge. What else is out? I think that's it. Just drawing into burn. Let's see, is okay. Bridge is great. We would have this game locked up if it wasn't for Ensnaring Bridge. We took 2, so we only need 2 burn spells now. A Johnny would have been nice to keep around as repeatable burn. But I think that was still the right discard. Well, keeping a card in hand might inspire them to cast. Well, they do have to cast everything anyways. Raven's Crime, sure. Just hope that they draw Thoughtseizes, I guess. It's another out. So we got 3 more turns. Opt. That's a good one. There is a. If we draw Jace, we do want to have access to it. Yeah, we'll keep that on top. So we just got to draw 1 bolt. We have 3 more bolts and a couple more. I think we have 6 with Lightning Helix. Unless I sideboarded them out. Got him. Wish that was Thoughtseize. How cool would that have been if it was Thoughtseize? So, if opponent draws Thoughtseize, we win. And if we draw Lightning Bolt, Cryptic Command, Wear Tear, so many cards. Gotta draw it. Oh, we're dead. Well, because we're still dead, right? Yeah, let's just see. Let's see what happens. Because they don't have to cast it now. Maybe they will. Oh, it's another rack. You got me. Engineer Explosives. That's the card. Yep, there it is. All right. I suppose maybe Keranos is good. I mean, we have so many good cards. Like, we didn't draw Queller. Wear Tear is an answer to the unfortunate Ensnaring Bridge. Jace helps us dig. Keranos is... I think all of these cards are better than Keranos. Yeah. I'd like to see one of these in the opener. Actually, no, I wouldn't like to see one of them in the opener. Okay, I think this hand's fine. I would prefer one more land, but I'm good. I'm good with this. I will discard a Johnny first again. Maybe I'll discard the Spell Queller. Nah, I think Spell Queller is probably our single best card in this matchup. Rack, sure. Engineer Explosives? No. I don't want to fetch because I want to draw lands. Maybe I do want to fetch. So this is going to get Sacred Foundry. Raven's Crime. Suppose we're just going to discard a Johnny again. Would have been great. Raven's Crime. I think Spell Queller is too good. We'll discard the Bolt. Kind of sucks, but I want to have... I think getting Snapcaster down here is good. Sacred Foundry, do not click on the wrong land. That would doom us to perhaps losing. And I already told you guys how much 8-Rack demolishes me. I need to play as tight as humanly possible here. If this was an island, if we could have fetched a blue source, I would have... I suppose I could have got Hollowed Fountain, but then we're still... we have a Lightning Bolt in hand. Anyways, it's a very rambling way of saying if they cast a 2-drop, I would opt to hope to get the Spell Snare if they cast Wrench Mind, but there's no reason to now because we only have access to one island, which doesn't really even need to be explained because it's obvious by the board stain. So they need to take Spell Queller here, I'm pretty certain. They take the Bolt. Interesting. Wrench Mind, Bile Blight. Sure. So that means they have more Bile Blight cards, I assume. Ooh, yes, please. Oh, damn it. I think we just wait a turn on search. I doubt they play anything of worth into the Spell Queller because they know we have it. Sure. I'm sure they have... Well, they can't push. So here I want to hold up the other Queller now. Well... yeah, I guess I do. They only have one card in hand. I would like very much to have played this search, but I think holding up Queller is too good. So Bile Blight is fine. We'll let that resolve. And then we're going to quell the Necrogen Mists again. And hope they don't have another Bile Blight. I'm sure they do, though. 8-Rack has it all! Oh. It's exactly Bile Blight, too. That's insane. We're going to discard Opt because Search is both a land and filtering next turn. And it's basically... it's an out to a lot of stuff. Oh, crap. Yeah, I tapped. For some reason I was thinking that cost 3, but I don't think it matters what card we hold up. So we're basically just going to hope we can search into having enough cards. It's their top decks versus ours at this point. So we're going down a card every turn, but we're also gaining a card every turn. So we're going to have one card in hand next turn after Necrogen Mists. So that's 5. Oof, I think we're just dead. Yep. Needs to be a wear tear. Yep. It's not a wear tear. Yeah, so we need to activate Search to stay alive, and then we need to have a wear tear to get both the Rack and the Affliction. That's our only out. And yeah, we're just dead here. Well, I suppose... Okay, so we let this resolve. We go to the end step. We hope there's a wear and tear here. And that is our literal only out. Because then we can cast it in response to their triggers, I suppose. Flipper! Adrac does it again! Yeah. I'm just going to activate again. Well, they should have stacked Necrogen Mist first, so now I think I'm alive. Ooh. Now I think I'm very alive. Did I just do it? Oh, crap, I didn't just do it because I can't cast it. Oh, if we just kept that land. Well, we still have it. As long as they don't draw a discard spell, I think we're still okay. We just need to draw land. Looks like it's a discard spell. I think we're still okay. We're not dead. Well, if they stack it correctly, I think we are just dead, right? So they need to stack. All right, they didn't stack it correctly again. Adrac for life, play the outs. We'll take the spell snare so we can discard it. Oh, we couldn't play that, right? It was that killed us, right? I think it did. Because we just take 2. Yep. So let's just show them that we had it and then concede. So I don't think we were winning. Well, on our upkeep, can we do it? I don't think so. We'll get rid of them though. The triggers will go on the stack and we'll die. But yeah, if they had that land last turn, ugh. Boop. Boop. Alright, well played, opponent. I do want to see what my next 4 cards were. So yeah, we wouldn't have got out of it this turn. Well, we could have helixed to go to 1? No, because we wouldn't have played that. We would have had... Yeah, I guess we would have still had helix, so then we'd have 1 more out. No, I don't think it was going to work the way I wanted it to. But yeah, sorry you guys. I fell victim. You had to witness me falling victim to my absolute kryptonite, which is Adrac. I think we played all right though, but you know, the deck performed pretty well. I was pretty excited. If there's a lot of downtime right now, I'm going to cut to the next match. So be forewarned that if it happens, it'll happen. Okay. So that, if we're still going, that was me trying to set up a cut for me to edit later. But we'll see. Well, also, I'm also going to not record this if it's Adrac for life again. Because after the triple storm debacle of last upload, I really don't want that to happen again. And if I'm Adrac for life, I don't know if I'd want to play a rematch either, because I could have just put together a troll deck that just raffle stomps Adrac. Oh, what is we just all card draw? Oh, what is that card where you like draw a card and deal damage equal? That's not even good. Deal damage equal to the cards in your hand to opponent. I think creature or player. I think it's like Master the Way or something. Some like Cons of Tarkir draft uncommon maybe. I don't know. I kind of had a crush on that card for a little bit. It was not pretty. That card was not very good. Yeah, I had some interesting budget decks during that era that I was playing, and none of them were very good. Spoiler alert. All right. Well, no cuts. So sorry for that previous lead-in. But you guys like my anecdotes, and if you don't like my anecdotes, you're either gonna dislike my video or unsubscribe. And either way, please don't. Please don't. I'm sorry. Opponent is mulliganing. I think Spell Snare is hopefully good against mulligans. Whenever a deck mulligans, I automatically assume it's Tron or Affinity, and they're gonna mulligan into Donuts. So we're probably just dead here. Stay positive, right? Ooh, Teleria West. I think this is the Amulet. Or what remains of Amulet. Oh, we gotta get rid of that stuff. That's an ugly stop. I don't know if Jace is actually good against this deck. Excuse me. We shall find out, though. Oh, it's not Amulet. It's Mono Blue Tron. Oh, that's so good. I'm so happy right now. Queller's a threat. I think we want threats. I'm at the point where if opponent taps out here, well, no. If opponent taps out on their turn, which they never will, I'm just going to jam the Snapcaster so I can do damage. That's how much I want to get this match over with. Is this the optimal play? Maybe. Likely not, though. Oh, wow. They don't have a counterspell. Sweet. So, yeah. Getting a threat down here is good. I'm just going to repeal me. Repealing isn't even that bad. Nope. That's right, Ambush Viper coming at you. Because we have Queller, I'm going to leave it up. They have a decent amount of 4-drops, and they also might have their card draw spell here, Thirst for Knowledge, which is just a really good card. And every time I play against Mono Blue Tron, I'm like, you need to build a Thirst for Knowledge deck. We will 100% quell Thirst. That is Thirst for Knowledge, random expedition map, which will never happen, and Solemn, whatever that card is, Solemn Simulac? That's not the card. Anyways, that 4-drop artifact that is just straight value. We're jamming the Snapcaster. Thirst me here. They're not even gonna. I have, yeah, we want that 4th land. I have 0 sympathy for Mono Blue Tron at this point in my Magic playing career. It is fun to play against, but the more you play online, the more often you run into it, and the more you play against it, the more you play against any one deck, it kind of becomes like less fun. But the more you play against Mono Blue Tron, it's like a sliding scale of infinite sadness. And after like the 2nd time, 3rd time playing against Mono Blue Tron, you just hate yourself. You hate your life. It's not even that good. But I think the fact that they want to repeal it means, and also the fact that there's not an infinite amount of targets for this. Getting down pressure here is good, and keeping our stuff from getting repealed. Solemn Simulacrum. It was called Solemn Simulacrum. Interesting. I could have sworn it was not. For some reason, I don't know, it just sounded weird. What do we want more of? I suppose we can get another red source. That way we have 2 of everything. Well, no, we have to get blue because I want to cast Opt. So let's get Hollowed Fountain. Cuts us off Bolt, Snap, Bolt. We have to draw Bolt first. So Solemn stinks. I don't think we want another Snapcaster. Maybe we did, you know? Maybe we did. I think that was a very hasty bottom. So now we can't attack with our Snapcasters, but we can get down the value engine that is Jace, the Architect of Thought. Because I left up Mountain, I'm just plussing here. If I'd left up Glacial Fortress, like a Smarty Pants McGoober, you can say that. That's a cool word. It's a cool phrase I'm giving out. If I was Smarty Pants McGoober, I would have left up a white source so I could path that. So they're just a land away from Tron after all of this stuff we've been doing. Now they're a land away from, well, they can just cast Wormcoil Engine, which feels bad. So next turn we're going to land search. Probably should have played it earlier. I just valued getting a threat down more, but I think getting the value that is search down early would have been a better use of my mana one of these turns. Also, the bonus of getting repeal with a spell queller is that unless we play a 0-drop, which we don't have any of, it will just fizzle. Ooh, so we played a land this turn. We're obviously gonna take the land bolt pile there. So we could bolt and get in for 6. And then we could Snapcaster Bolt and almost win. That seems fine. Well, giving them an extra draw doesn't seem fine, though. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We can put them to 2 if we attack with everything. Yeah, I think we do it. Because we have Cryptic. I don't think there's a reason to give them a draw. So I said I was going to cast Search, but I think I'm going to leave up Snapcaster. We counterbounce this. So it's when it dies. They're trying to draw cards. I don't see the harm, because I don't think we die next turn. So let's do that. I'm sure there's a card that kills us that I'm not thinking of. Ugin. Yeah. Tronland Ugin. It's pretty good. It's actually phenomenal. Okay, well, they're not playing that out, and we win the game. All right. So Keranos seems good. Stony Silence, I think, is all right. Shuts down their maps. They usually play some number of other artifacts, I believe. I think Dispel is a whole lot better than Cryptic because they have infinite counter spells. I think Negate's good. I think Disdainful Stroke is good. Do we want to Wear Tear, though, if we're bringing in Stonies? No, I don't think so. So Spell Snare gets very little. And I believe Path is good for... It's great against for all their creatures. Johnny Vengeant can keep them off of mana. Secure the Waste is how we're going to win. Suppose we don't need Keranos. Maybe we keep Cryptic in over Keranos. Maybe we keep Cryptic in over Search Secure as well. I don't know. Let's go down on 1 Helix. This is just more mana efficient. They did the same thing. Let's go down on 2 Helixes, actually. And we'll get in the second Cryptic. Whoa. We still have to cut a card. So yeah. This is fine. Do they have any blue creatures? I don't think so. I just think this hand is good. I mean, it's all right, right? It's not phenomenal. But I think it's good enough. If they don't have, I mean, if they have turn 3 Tron, they have turn 3 Tron. Okay. They're almost there. That's step 1. So I'm going to have to think about if I want to Ambush Viper, Snapcaster over Search. I think this time I'm going to Search. Do they not have a second land? Wow, their hand must be stacked to have kept a 1-lander. Let's get the Hollowed Fountain. Sure, we do need lands. Because they stumbled on lands, I'm just going to play this Search. That could be, maybe I should be trying to get pressure down, but, oh, wow. Hand must be great. Disdainful Stroke, please. I think Jace is good enough to keep. Tron. Turn 3. Turn 4 after missing a land drop, Tron. Okay, well, blue source is usually pretty good for them. I'm going to fetch. Get Steam Vents. Could have snap opted. Ooh, that's good. It's not great though. Maybe they're gonna wanna counter this. Looks like they don't. Yeah. So they're still gonna get to use it unless they F6. So Stony Silence is a turn too late. And I think probably not phenomenal as is. Yes, we do want the Bolt in the graveyard. Remand, sure. So let's attack. So they have a counter spell. I think we want them to use it on this Jace. Oh, yeah. For some reason I thought we had 5 mana. We want to delay them from having the maximum amount of mana. And they're not falling for it. Their hand must be great. I'm taking whatever has 2 in it. It's probably going to be Snapcaster Search. They might just give me all 3 piles because they have phenomenal hand. Which is my read, but they're not. Yeah, we'll take that one. I suppose I could have played Stony and held up Remand. Maybe that's just better. I think actually, now that I've said that out loud, I think that's way better. Let's see what they have, though. It might not be too bad. Okay. We can beat that. Ooh, I forgot we're 3-color. We can't beat that. Upside is we get to flip this. No, we don't want to put that in the graveyard. We would like to draw that. So we're minusing here because if we draw a path, we are in it. There it is. Ding, 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 ding. I will take this. Ooh. Are you gonna give me path land? Okay, yeah. It's like, that's pretty ballsy. Any order? Please have another fetchable white source. I do not! Oh, how brutal is that? How brutal is that? Oh, I should have opted. Well, I suppose we'll get an island and pass the turn. Yowza. Yowza. That sucks. I think maybe I do want another hollow fountain as is. I don't know. I don't think so. If they play anything, we get to hopefully cycle into an island or plains. Sure. The thing is, they might not play something else after this map. So I think Stony Silence, it seems like they're not running ballistas. They might, though. I don't think... Maybe I don't want Stony on next time. I definitely need my artifact removal. I don't know what I was thinking. I know there's tons of artifacts in this deck. Island. Okay, so... I just want to have max counter spells here. I do not blame them. Got him. Don't have to block, but I'm blocking while I can. Snap opting. Oop, no, we're remanding. Okay. Smells like a thirst. See if my nose is on the right case tonight. Yeah, I think we just have to opt. It's either opt or bolt. That sounds bad. Thirst. Score 1 for the smeller. So, slamming that Jace was not correct. I thought so at the time. It's not even results oriented. Like, we got bottom that. Ugh. White source. How bad does that feel? Still not dead though. Now we can. I think we want a lighthouse over search because lighthouse can get us into. A flooded strand. We have to have flooded strand, or yeah, because the only white source we have left is that plains. Oh, well, we could just be getting slavered here. Sure. Guess we can take this one. We have another opt in there. We might as well block. It's basically the same thing as lighthousing, except I don't have to discard a card. Not that discarding is really all that bad right now. But I kind of just don't want to admit to my opponent how horrendous my hand is. I guess I am admitting it by not doing anything, but semantics. Not really semantics, but... Some water on my mustache. Counterspell? Yeah, I'll opt into opt. Why not? That doesn't do it. So here we play search, hold open, and remand. Sure. I don't think we want to It doesn't matter really if we shock or not. We're looking pretty DED dead. So, note to self, do not fetch out all of your white sources against mono blue tron. Write that down for later. Yep, it's good. Deck's been playing pretty well though. The only well, I don't want to F6 that. So 7, 8, 9. That's fine. I do want to remand. I said turn off auto yields, didn't I? Oh, whatever. So obviously I wanted to remand that, and ooh, so they have Platinum Angel as well. Yeah. Yeah, let's get in there. Story Silence is looking bad. Wear Tear is looking great. Looking up a mono blue tron list as we speak. Ah, looks like we have something we can remand. They probably have a counter spell. There is the Ugin. Wonder why they didn't play to it last game. Flood is Trend. That's all. We're still dead now because of this Ugin. Okay, so we are dead. And Stony Silence is staying in. So that's actually really good information because I was thinking about siding it out. Alright, you're coming in. Suppose maybe we want Spell Snare now because of Ballista, but I think that's not the best logic. What are we taking out? I think I want 4 bolts, and I want 4 paths. Especially seeing they have Platinum Angel. I don't think I'm ever going to really want to tap out for Jace. And Ajani's ultimate could win the game. And it's a threat. I think Ajani's better than Jace. Not in many matchups. I think actually Jace might just be better in general than Ajani. Maybe Jace is better than the Secure the Wastes. I think being able to secure after they tap down for like Ugin or something, maybe wipe my board, I think that's just good. Maybe we want to cut down on Quellers, but I think Quellers is great against all of their enablers. And yeah, we're keeping this one. I would love to have an earlier... lucky. That's why you play the cards, though. Oh, I have to press OK, sorry. Sorry, opponent. Well, this path is looking a little better now that they're going to have access to 2 mana on turn 2. Tectonic Edge. What are we leaving on? I guess leave on Tarn. The fact that they have Tectonic Edge makes me want to fetch basic planes. Good Lord, please, please, Stony Silence. Please. We will get... Oh, I saw white and I got excited. All right. Well, we're not super lucky, but, you know, we got some good cards. We got some good ones. I can see winning the game with this. Queller into Stroke. Wow, turn 3 Tron. Plus the Gemstone Caverns. How does it feel? How does it feel? Do I want to get down to 1-1? I don't think so. Good draw on lands, I think. Negate's a good draw as well. Man, if these Quellers are obstructionists, it still wouldn't be all that good because they probably just have Tron in hand and they're just getting an island here. No, they do not. So they're going for Tron. So we're going to get to stroke whatever this is. Or negate. This this taps for blue, right? Yeah. So they do have blue. Dang. So we might not even be safe here. If it's a creature, I'm still going to try and deal with it because of their access to counter magic. Like, Path is obviously the best. Huh. Do we negate this? Maybe we... So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think they're trying to get... I think this is okay to try to quell. Plains. We're gonna get the mountain. Well, we can just get the eye. No, we're still boned with that. So we might as well get... I literally don't know what card to get. So we get another Steam Vents, then we lose both Steam Vents. Maybe fetching that basic was actually not that good. Whatever. Those are the mistakes of past Andrew. Future Andrew, present Andrew has to deal with this. Resolved. Hope that's good. Treasure Mage. So this could be good, actually. So now we are set up for Disdainful Stroke next turn. The reason I want to get rid of the map is if they don't get Sundering Titan, the bastard. So yeah, we have... I really would love to draw a land. Solemn, okay. That's a good card too. So does it get any land or is it just basic land? Basic land, okay. Still good though. So I think, yeah, we gotta hold back here. So we're gonna try to stroke it because obviously having it resolve is no bueno for us. I'll definitely block. They have Ballista? Hmm. 9? Oh yeah, Titan. I knew that. Please. I've never asked for anything. Oh, that's so bad. So then when it leaves the battlefield, yep. We're going to lose all of our lands. But they're just going to be stuck on... No, no, no! No! I wanted to path. Oh, God, that was bad. I mean... Hollowed... I think Sacred Foundry... So yeah, we'd have this one land. I F2'd a bit too quick there. That was not what I wanted to do, but it is my mistake. They have to get rid of one of their islands at least. Yep, we're gonna hold back on Queller. If we rip 3 lands in a row, we're still in it, and they rip nothing. This looks like not nothing. Oh, Thirst. They discard an expedition map, so they don't even care about it. Which means they've got another fatty. I guess we just take 6. So what is our out? We take 6, hope we draw another path. Hope they don't draw another thing for the next 2 turns. They're now drawing 3 things. They've drawn 7 cards these past 2 turns, including their draw step. So 6 more than us. So yeah, even if I would have played that correctly, we'd have 2 lands now. And I don't think we're not winning this game. So now even if we draw the path, we're dead. Yeah. So, I mean, it's like you'd rather obviously play perfectly and then win, but knowing that your mistake didn't actually factor into the outcome is some small comfort, but it's still crappy comfort, and I don't like it. Rather just not make that mistake. So this hand is interesting. It's one I would keep on the draw. I think we're gonna. If we could fetch a tri-land, I'd be very good. As it stands, we have to fetch Steam Vents to have access to these 2 over that. These cards are all great. Do we keep it in the dark? I think we have better 5-6s. Yeah, this is better. That is a mulligan that took a whole lot. This isn't great. This is still probably like a C+. Maybe just a flat C. But it takes a lot of discipline to mulligan a hand like that. And brother, you're looking at a man with discipline. This is where if we were like really, if our production quality was top notch, we're going to lead on this because we want to have access to this bolt. I would cut back to all the infinite times I've kept real sketchy hands. And it would be very funny. So you can picture that now if you've seen those videos like that. Oh, what was that one? Ooh, okay, I'm very happy I kept this bolt. I'm trying to think of my worst keep. And I'm pretty sure, I cannot think of it right now. I think I kept a 1-lander. We're going to play this tapped. I think I kept a 1-lander off-lander that had Graveyard Hate. I think we ended up drawing out of it, but there's been some real stinkers I've kept. Okay, this Queller is going to be good now. If you have a personal favorite Andrew Bad hand that he kept and probably should be shot for keeping it, please feel free to drop me a line in the comments or on Twitter and berate my horrible choice of hand keeps. Usually I have good, we're going to just jam this search here. I try to have good reasoning behind my bad hand keeps at least. So I like that overplaying Queller because Queller can do something next turn. Sure, like Secure gets better the longer we wait, but we've got another one. So I don't know the 2-drop that I'm afraid of here. So we're just going to jam. If we plus and then minus, we're still in bolt range. So I think we're just going to minus. We will take a Johnny Vengeant over the 2 lands. And happily play it next turn. I've been really happy with the Planeswalkers in this deck. Part of me just wants to run 2 of Johnny's, but a Jace is very good. But I might end up running two of Johnny's. Johnny has been just good enough in every matchup that I kind of want both of them. Nick those, tap something. They're not tapping anything. Smarty pants. Ooh, double queller. I think I don't want to tap out for Johnny. Okay, what's the worst thing that happens? The worst thing that happens is they play Montevouli Acid Moss. So yeah, let's play that in case. Like, yeah, we could quell it, but I think I like tapping down their mana. Maybe I should have tapped a forest there. Still has it, right? No. It's until the next taps it. It's not Frost Breath. Okay, so opponent's missing land drops. We are happy to... I'm going to tap the forest this time. Learn from your mistakes. -2. Honestly, I'm just going to take the 2 lands. Which should put fear in our opponent. There's nothing we want to play sorcery speed here to take. I mean, search would be good, but I don't want to take us off of Queller at this point in the game. So we're just going to pass it back. Oh, we might get to a Johnny Ultimate here. Yeah, this is... I assume it's blue-red, or blue-green, sorry. Blue-red Ponza is my deck. Blue-green Ponza, or green-red Ponza is everyone else's deck. We want the engineered explosives. Purge is good against the Titan, but only the Titan. Rending Volley, I don't think there's a single creature that we get. Anger is whatever. I might want to bring in Wear and Tear, I guess. Disdainful Stroke and Negate seem good too. So does Keranos. I think I like that over Anger. Anger I usually say for decks that are just like it's phenomenal against, like it'll win you the game if you can resolve it. What 7 cards do we not want? Spell Snare. They have, I think just, well, they might also run Prismatic Omen, we don't know. They're going to be attacking our land base, so I think we want to get lower to the curve with these spells over Cryptic. If we're bringing in Staticaster, maybe we can afford to go down on Helix. And I think, well, Keranos is just really good if we stall out, which we tend to do. So let's get rid of the Helixes. Because we have these two to get rid of the 1-drops. I think Remand's just pretty medium, so we'll definitely sideboard that out. Maybe we want Helix over Remand. I don't know. I think I'd like this. I think what do we have? 4, 8, 9, 10 answers to turn 1 dorks. That seems fine. 14 if you add in Snapcaster after we've used one, but that's not necessarily the cleanest math, so we won't. Maybe I do want one. Well, we don't want this hand. So this is like not nearly as enticing as our other one-lander. And once again, we mulligan into something better. We keep this Remand, hold it up on their turn 3. I guess that seems fine. But I think they're going to be playing... Yeah... Maybe that's alright. They're going to probably be playing Stone Rain on turn 3, assuming they don't have a ramp, which they might. They're very likely to. So maybe I should have led with bottom that Remand as is. We'll see. We'll see how punished I get for it. We'll definitely draw an extra card by the end of the game, see how much that would have mattered. But I think decks with creatures in it are decks we want to be playing against for sure. We are good. We have good game against the other spell-based decks because of Queller. But I don't know how great we are with Tron. Oh, I would love to spell pierce this, but we're not going to be able to. I think we're going to bottom this because we really need to see a lightning bolt. Because this is going to get out of hand very quickly. Even just one untap usually leads to a board state that is hard to recover from. And they're getting one right here. So if they have an Acid Moss here, where... Oh, looks like they might. Okay, Garrick. Well, they could Garrick into an Acid... No, they can't Garrick into Acid Moss. But they can Garrick into Stone Rain. Wait, is this green? Okay, so this isn't Ponza. So I sideboarded... I think it's still alright, but it's not nearly as good. So this is just mono green Nykthos ramp. So slightly less scary of an opening. Wow. Kingdom for a Boomerang. So they have infinite mana next turn. I'm going to just lead on that. Maybe we should have topped the Scalding Tarn, if only because we don't have a white source. I kind of forgot about that when I bottomed it. So it was a little loose. 1, 2. So this one's red, so maybe they are still Ponza. Sure. I hope they Garrick here. If they Garrick on tap and this is Genesis Wave, oh, we're just going to get them. Wow. Oh, it's not. That's bad. So yeah, we can remand this, but at what cost? Yeah, I think we're just dead here. Wow. Whoa. Okay. Lesson learned. We want all of our early burn. I don't want Keranos anymore. Just take out Remand. Remand's still pretty good against them, but yeah. We have to stem the tide against their untappings. Ooh, you know what? Should have taken Purge out, because I'm not convinced they are... I mean, Path is an answer, but it's not one I want to play. I think we'll mulligan. Alright, that's better. Path is more for their big boys. Now that we have got an answer to their turn 1 and turn 2. Because of that, we're just going to lead on Old Island. So we're going to be able to get to the late game, unlike game 2. Oh, why did I lead on Island? God, that's a punt. I'm sure you guys are screaming at me. So yeah, we can't even cast this Helix. Wowzers. Hopefully we just get to snare a 2-drop and it's okay, but yeah. 2-drop. No 3-drop. Yes. 1-drop? Okay. Alright. So we're exactly where we would be. We dodged a bullet there. Does not excuse it, but we did dodge it. Guess we get Steam Vents, Hollowed Fountain, Sacred Foundry. I think we get Sacred Foundry into a Hollowed Fountain? Sure. Oh, there's Steam Vents, so we can just get an island with that next one. And we're not going to waste any time. This deck feels a whole lot better when we get down an early search. Cinderglade. Are they also running Valakut? This is perhaps a list I have not seen. Chosen color is green. Interesting. I honestly don't know what's going on. We're going to Snapcast back. Helix or Snare. So what are we afraid of? Garrick isn't too bad. We can get rid of it with the combination of Helix and Snapcaster. You know, if they don't play anything, I would love to Loot House. Okay, there's Garrick, so they're gonna untap into something. That costs 4. Yep. Ooh, nothing. I think we just... I'd like to loot it, but I think we just get down the answer. Don't be too greedy. Yes, pleasey. These decks have a lot of air. We're going to hold that to discard the Loot House, hopefully. So here's hoping this was the best they could do. They're very explosive, though, and you do have to respect them. Hoping they just play Manadork, Kessig Wolf Run. Yeah, that's going to win them the game. Another Garrick. Ooh, Primal Command. Nothing I can do. Well, yeah, I can't do it in response. I would love to do it in a way that helps me discard it. Okay. So that helps me get out of Primal Command lock. So we're not stoned to it if they have Eternal Witness. Loot House coming through in the clutch yet again. Alright, Search is hopefully going to do some work here. Oh, boy. I'd like to win this one. Run. That's annoying. So we're not going to win by attacking. Path. I think so. It's not an answer to Thron. Okay, here we go. Johnny's great here. We get to tap down their big land, taking them off of a butt ton of mana. And if we can somehow draw into enough Snapcasters, or if we draw a single Secure the Wastes, well, I guess they could Kessig Wolf Run. Yeah, didn't think about that. It does take their whole turn, though. Looks like they're... Oh, they're not doing it. Sweet. Wishes was like opponent or permanent. I wish it didn't target. Okay. So this Thron is going to be super good. Is he attacking? Yeah, I'm going to block. think that's... I think a Johnny's going to buy us enough time. Yes. Opt is good. I suppose we just opt, right? No, there's nothing sorcery speed that we really care about. Man, Tron is just super good against us. So they're all going to attack in. I assume. Let's opt. Ooh, Scare the Wastes. So it does force him to activate. The fact that they had Kessig really works this up. I think we win without Kessig, but they can just trample over. And we don't have an answer to the land. We don't have any threat, any pressure down. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like we're losing this one. So maybe it's back to the drawing board, huh? I don't think that's even good at this point. Yes, we'll bin it. Yes, we'll transform. I think we're just gonna have to try to catch them with their pants down somehow, which there's no way they're going to at this point. Like I don't think we have a single answer to this in our deck. Ooh, Summoning Trap. That's good to know about. So we're gonna take 6 here, activate Search. Maybe they just want to cast Summoning Trap next turn, and then we can block Thrun with a whole lot of Secure the Waste tokens. I mean, we have Spell Quellers. I don't think we're Stone Cold. We weren't Stone Cold to Thrun, but oh, they're just going for it here. Huh. Who are they targeting? Thrawn. Okay. So let's see, it's 7, 8, 9. They can attack for 9, 10 next turn. They're still holding up the regeneration. So yeah, I think we're just good here to wait. Well, we have to put it in hand. It was like, bottom that, but it's not an option. Spell Queller would have been great 3 turns ago. Okay, so we can bolt there. Take 1,000,000. I don't think there's a way. There's not a way for us to win at this point, which is super freaking unfortunate. His opponent's thinking, I don't really know what about. Like we can cryptic tap them, but it's like you might as well just serve. Like just go to combat. I don't think there's any reason not to. Maybe they're wondering why we haven't conceded, which is fair. Three, 6, 9, 12. Snapcaster 15. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Suppose we'll just take the bolt. That's an out I wasn't thinking about. I wonder how many Thruns they have and how many Wolf Runs they have. If we just got the bad end of... Obviously, whenever... They don't have 4 of them. But, I mean, technically, if you really get down to it, anytime you see a single card in Magic, you've got the bad end of the variant stick. So 9, 10, 11. We're not dead, so we're just going to... I think even Snapcaster here, even if we were to draw 2 Snapcasters, I don't think it does it. Triple Bolt, we don't even have enough. Jace would have been something a while ago. So yeah, we can bolt, 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 bolt. We're dead. We're done. So yeah, 03. Perhaps the dream for Search for Azcanta and Jeskai at least is not feasible. Maybe it was more we ran into 3 bad matchups. I'm not necessarily sure that's true. You know what? Let's run one more. Let's see if it fires quickly. I think we're not... I mean, Thrun's obviously horrendous, but I think we've got enough gas besides Thrun to win that matchup. That felt bad. I mean, obviously the only match we want the game... Well, here's the thing. This hand isn't good. I mean, it is a 3-drop. Double 3-drops. On the play, though, yeah, if we can't win with this hand in the dark, I think we need to go back to the drawing board. Because we've been competitive, even though one of our matches that we won, one of our games that we won was because of land screw. But I think we would have won against an average hand there anyways. We're just going to lead on Steam Bets Capped. That's the best line against any aggressive deck. Blue. Is it Storm? I'm thinking it's Storm. You think it's Storm? I'm thinking it's Storm. Could be. I mean, Island, Serum Visions could be a lot of decks in Modern these days. So, well, maybe not a lot of decks. It could be a Delver deck. Okay. So I'm gonna get. Oh, you know what's a horrendous matchup? And if this is it, then I don't know if we can win game 1. It is. Okay, this is Storm. So we've got some game against Storm, but a horrendous matchup is Blue-Red Through the Breach. Blue-Red Kiki Jiki is fine because of Spell Queller, but we don't have any hard answer to Through the Breach game 1. So because I saw Sleight of Hand, I don't mind fetching another non-island. Also, we have an island in hand, so let's get Sacred Foundry because of this upcoming island. Opt. Alright, would love that turns 1 or 2. But turn 3, Spell Queller time. We're here to quell. Maybe we want to run like Meddling Mage in this deck. Is that crazy? We're all flash except for our planeswalkers. Yeah, we're going to call that. So usually they don't run Lightning Bolt main deck, so I think we're good. All right, that's good too. I think we're fine. Well, yeah, I think we're not jamming Jace. We could jam Jace. Let's jam Jace. This is the only turn we can do it. They need a reducer. I mean, we could wait a turn. Wait a turn. Path the reducer next turn. Yeah, I guess that's safer. But yeah, they're only out to Spell Queller. Game 1 is whatever. Grape Shot. I think I might have even said that earlier, and I'm just stuck in a loop. We're going to bottom this at this point. I don't see us tapping out. That's great. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold up. Path. Yeah, that sounds good. Well, you know what? With triple queller in hand, I think we're just gonna ride it because this is obviously gifts ungiven. Or at least that's what I'm afraid of when they have 4 mana open and they pass. So I'm hoping that slows them down. Storm is very resilient, though. The great thing about Queller is it is disruption and a clock. It is the ideal disruption against this deck. So they need... Well... Yeah, I guess we're just going for Jace here. Where shields down on Queller. Remand. That's fine. It's unfortunate, but I'd rather them remand a Jace than a Spell Queller. So we're getting Hollowed Fountain here. Looks like they're flooding. Bolt is good. At this point, we don't even need to Jace. Our clock is great. Triple Queller. So they're going to board in Lightning Bolts. They might have remand. Well, I mean, just quell it again. I think you remand your own spell there, but even then you're in a rough spot because we have triple Quellers. I guess they just try to draw into the nuts. So they need a reducer. Looking for a reducer. They could try to get, I mean, Grape Shot is still good. Grape Shot is still very good here. So I guess we're going to bolt because we don't have a fetchable white source. Yet again, got to keep track of my lands. Sure, we're going to bolt here. So hilariously enough, they can still go off in response. They need a whole lot of rituals, and they do. So they need the gifts here. Or if they just have past and... No, they need a gift here. So they have to gift 7, 8, 9, 10. Past in Flames is not good enough, but it does help them. I mean, they can start scrying into stuff. I don't know if I'd be... Well, I mean, I guess they're assuming they're dead next turn. But they're not. Sure. So they're just going to try to opt into a grape shot. Just fair. But if they don't, then they are just dead because they've used their entire yard. So they have Serum Visions and a Remand. The Serum Visions and an Opt to get what they need, so they can look at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards. So if it's not in the top 7, if it's a grape shot, we just lose. Wow. Storm, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Nothing really, I mean, honestly, that's maybe throw in a Remand, and that's kind of like the ideal hand, really. Like, if that hand doesn't beat Storm, then perhaps, well, I don't want to say it, so I'm not going to say it. We'll bring in all of our reactive spells. We'll remove all the bad stuff. Purge is only gets Electromancer, so we're not too worried about it. Answer to the tokens. Both of these we're never going to want to tap out. 4, 5, 6, 7. Search, we're never going to want to tap out for it. Remand is great. Let's see how it looks. I suppose we'll just cut Helixes because they cost 2, and tapping out sucks against this deck. So yeah, like, Storm's a really good deck, and it's incredibly redundant, incredibly powerful, and resilient. And I don't think it should be banned, but I do think there aren't many bad matchups for it. So I guess read into that what you will. I think if I was going to try to play to win a tournament, to spike a tournament, not necessarily a tier fun, I would definitely be playing Storm. And there are bad debt matchups for it for sure. So yeah, we have a Path and a Snapcaster. I think we keep this. Opt to fix. Suppose we lead. I suppose maybe we should have just let on Hollowed Fountain untapped. Maybe I think we should have. Because now we need to get Steam Vents here. And your life total does matter in this deck. We don't want to draw that. We want to draw action. That's fine. So Scalding Tarn. I suppose we can do it on our turn. It's not any different. So let's play it tapped. They can go off on turn 2, though. Which, if you've had the pleasure of it, is awesome. Ooh, okay, Tormod's Crypt. The last, umpteenth games I've had Graveyard Hate against Storm, I feel like I've still lost, though. We're not going to Snapcaster Opt because we need to save Snapcaster for bad things. We are, however, going to secure the waste here if opponent doesn't do anything. So I've tried fighting it with Blood. I've lost to Storm with Blood Moon in play. I've lost to Storm with Blood Moon and Graveyard Hate in play. I've lost to Storm with triple Spell Queller. Getting all 3 very relevant spells. If you can think of a way to lose to Storm, I have lost to Storm. So they're crafting the perfect hand as is. Kind of hoping our 1/1s just do the trick here. We're going to get Island. Tormod's Crypt is a speed bump for them. They'll eventually get to a place where it doesn't do anything. Might even Snapcaster back Secure the Waste at some point if the game goes that way. Maybe we should have fetched another white source because of Remand. Really would love to draw a Spell Snare. Spell Snare is pretty good. Sure. So, thinking out loud right now, I guess this is stuff I would probably save for the post game usually, but, you know, Storm's doing its thing right now. So, okay. So, we are going to Lighthouse. Is I think maybe this deck isn't tempo-y enough to be tempo and isn't control-y enough. Okay, that's better than Path. I guess we'll discard that. Isn't control-y enough to be control. And that's kind of how we've lost almost every time we've lost. Is we were kind of we were maybe like two in the middle of deck types, and you can win a lot of games that way against mid-range decks. I think this deck is phenomenal against any of the Taxes decks. It's really good. It's good. It's decent against Eldrazi. Well, they could be going off here. It's interesting that they lead on rituals. Sure. So to me, this is a empty the warrens. At least I'm hoping it is. Wow. Grape shot. We are almost dead. We've got one card in hand though, so it's probably definitely lightning bolt, right? Or another grape shot. If it's another grape shot, I'm gonna quit Magic. I'm gonna quit making content. Bottom Snapcaster. Yeah, that's it. Whew. So yeah, that's it. We're done. Should have quit on 3. We're done on 4. I still think this deck has legs. This is a good deck. These are honestly, I was running with the deck without Spell Quellers, but I think Spell Quellers is actually just really good against Storm. So I left Spell Queller in. I also left Remand in because it was good against Storm. To be fair, we didn't draw any Remands, and Remand's only really good against the situation where they're flashing back Past in Flames. But it's phenomenal in that I've won a fair share of games with Remand against Storm. Because a lot of the times they have enough mana to pay for like a mana leak or even like a giant Logic Knot. But yeah, I don't think I can build a better main deck against Storm. Where did I just throw my Lightning Helixes? How did they get over there? That's really funny. So we have 4, 8, 11. Turn 1 to 2 answers to their reducers. We have 4 decent enough. Actually, sorry. We have also counting Spell Snare. So that's 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 answers to their reducers. 4 to any of their enablers, be it Past in Flames or Gifts Ungiven, or reducers as well. Also, Remand is a good utility spell for every situation. These 2 cards aren't phenomenal. I suppose I used to think Search was good in the matchup, but the more I play it, the more I think it's not. You just never want to tap out. So these 5 cards are pretty medium. Secure the Waste is actually, it's okay. Like once we can use all these to get to a point where we've stalled, where we survive their initial onslaught, hopefully, and then we can also fire it off on turn 3 just to get it's kind of does its own Ambush Viper impersonation. It's not one of the bad cards in the deck. Cryptic Command is also it's in the same category as Secure the Waste. Like it's good, it can be good, but it can also be just a little bit too clunky. So basically, this entire portion of our deck is good against Storm. We could run negates. We could run more spell snares, I suppose. We could go up to 4 spell snares, or we could run spell pierces instead of remands. Maybe we will. Spell Pierce isn't the worst in this meta. It's just that I hate running Spell Pierce with Path to Exile. And I think at that point, maybe we want to go Grixis with Push or something instead of Path. Push or discard. Like... And I mean... Like, it's been easy for me to write off a lot of my losses to Storm, because, you know, that just happens. It's Magic. But it's been happening a lot. And I don't think it's because... I could be very wrong. And I don't think I am, but I could be very wrong. I don't think my decks are horrible against Storm. I don't think they're phenomenal against Storm, but I think they're good enough to give us a shot. Now, the problem with this deck, these cards are all good against Storm. It's that these decks don't close the door enough by the end of the game. And I don't think we have enough pressure with just Snapcaster Spell Queller. So maybe my logic for Spell Queller just being good is not good enough. Maybe we have to run Jeskai Blood Moon. Is that crazy? Is that where we're at? Just go down on... Just give up the Azcanta Dream. Maybe Azcanta is just good for the sideboard. Lives in the sideboard. So put 2 over there for 1 here. Triple Blood Moon. Triple Blood Moon. We have our plains. I think we need more islands. Well, we don't have that island. Rid ourselves of this plane. Our Misty. I think we probably just want another... I think we probably want access to 2 planes. We have to fetch 1. That's the hard part. So I think Lighthouse is out. Which one of these do we care about the least? We definitely want another plains. We don't really care about the mountain because we're just going to have a deck full of mountains. This is a... Well, we'll get better plains eventually. I think we probably want 3. Take out 2 cards. These 2. Is that crazy? Maybe we take out the Steam Vents, actually. Or the Sulphur Falls. Because now we're running 3 planes. Maybe we just run 2 planes. So 3 planes is 4, 5, 6, 7. Turn 1, 2, 3. I think I like that number, actually. Maybe we don't run Cryptic because that's too much of a strain. What would we run instead, though? And Secure the Waste gets a whole lot worse. Well, whatever. We'll save this. If this was a stream, I would go through this. But like, this is the foundation for whatever nonsense I'm trying to do here. I don't even know if it's good. Oh, I guess we just take out these 2 lines, right? No, whatever. Okay, it's okay to do it. So yeah, that's Jeskai Azcanta. As I said, fair warning, I wasn't sure if the deck was good. I think the deck is good, but I just don't think the meta... I think if I can't beat Storm with that hand, I think I want to be playing this deck with more pressure. And be that, maybe I want to jam... I think this deck is probably better as just Jeskai cards. The deck we played earlier. It's got early-ish pressure with Young Pyromancer. It's kind of a similar deck, actually, but it's got more early pressure. And still has the Quellers. It's also running Logic Knot instead of Remand, and I think that's probably better as well. And I don't even know if we want Search in this deck either, but yeah. I think if you're trying to run Search in a Jeskai shell, I think this is probably something more like it. Also, Spicy Ojutai's Command to get back Young P and Snapcaster. And Soulfire Grandmaster, shout out to Cons of Tarkir Standard. But yeah, I'm still going to search. I'm going to work on this on my free time. I'm not going to stream it again until I am beyond 100% with it. Beyond 100% confident. I was kind of like 60, I was kind of like 55, 45, and I decided to run it because it looked like it could be fun. But yeah, we got stomped tonight. So, and yeah, you know, Modern and content in general isn't about just posting winning videos. I think there's something to be gained from posting an idea and a starting point and seeing what works and what doesn't. Modern's rough anyways, even if you're playing tier 1 decks. So if you're doing better than if you're consistently going 4-1s, you've probably broken the format. 3-2 I think is the mark. If you can consistently 3-2, it's like what, a 66% win percentage. That's really good in Modern, and that's good enough to spike GP. You just got to run a little lucky, and you know that's Magic though. That's why we all come back, right? Every game's different. You never know what you're going to get, and you're always striving to do better. And that's what we do. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. This should come up early on. I think it'll come up early on Tuesday. Sorry, Thursday. That's Thursday, not Tuesday. I'm getting my days mixed up. But yeah, we'll have another video on Friday, and I will also have one on, I believe, Saturday morning. Still wanting to stream. Haven't worked out with my schedule yet. As you can tell, my releases have been kind of, wow, we're just rambling on forever. But yeah, we're trying to stick to at least 5 videos a week. Ideally 6. It's kind of hard to get that one day off schedule going right now, but we try to stick to it. So if you're a new subscriber, expect content most days of the week. And if you're an old subscriber, you already know the drill. So anyways, appreciate you guys so much. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Hope you enjoyed me losing. And yep, we're going to be back at it tomorrow. Boo, have a good day.